As you can see, my panels they came yesterday. So it's time to install them. In this video, I'm gonna show you how to install the passenger side. It's basically exactly the same as the driver's side. I installed the driver's side last night just to make sure I had all the tools and everything I needed to be able to show you guys how to do it properly. It's very easy, it's very straightforward. When it's all finished, it looks something like this. Have your mirror switch, windows, pull strap. So the kit will come with your panel, of course, and it'll come with the cutouts if you ask for them. No extra charge for whatever cutouts you need. Pull strap, a cool engraved vanity plate. I painted this black. This was like a wood, made out of wood color. And then I also painted the screw. These two bolts and the bolt to the pull strap are the only pieces of hardware from their kit that I'm going to use. Everything else I'm going to be using M5 and riv nuts. This is a bracket that you're going to hook your door handle to space it away from the door so that it sits flush with the panel. It'll all be clear when I show you. This is the hardware that came with the kit. This is for the handle bracket and the vanity plate for the pull strap. I'm not going to use them just because I'm going to use riv nuts, so I'm not going to use the nut and bolts. So instead I have 13 M5 bolts and 13 M5 riv nuts. In addition to that hardware, you're also going to need, I can't remember the size of this drill bit, but you're going to need 2 drill bits, a T20, and then whatever size Allen for your M5 bolts. Because we're using riv nuts, you need a riv nut tool, and a motorcycle to put all your stuff on is not required. Pretty cool though, I just picked up some genuine velocity splitters, so we'll throw that on at some point. It snowed last night, otherwise I'd do this on my driveway with a lot more space. Step 1 is repositioning your handle. That way when you're positioning the panel where you want it, you can gap the hole of the handle of the panel to the handle of your door. So first things first, I noticed this is a Phillips screw. I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to be a Phillips screw, it's supposed to be a T20. So that's unfortunate. I'm gonna have to get up and go get a screwdriver. Okay, so add potential Phillips and I guess flathead to any job to the list. We're going to unscrew this boy. There's just a lip on the front that interfaces with this. So when you're taking it off, just pull it towards the back and then it comes off. This is just a rubber grommet. Comes on here. Try not to break this clip because then the interface kind of rattles on your door. If you're like super crazy about weight savings, these are full metal, the chrome ones. So, I mean, technically the black handle is lighter. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna take our bracket. It has a tab that goes in the opposite direction. So it goes in where the original spot was. And you just line her up so that the original hole is there. Go ahead and take the original screw that you just took out and somehow stick it in there. Christ. There you go. And now what I do is line this up on there. Oh, I just broke it. So now that the bracket is on, we need to figure out where to drill these holes. Okay, we're going to take our 1/4 bit. It's just slightly smaller than the M5 required. Don't have any metric bits. Don't have metal bits either, so I'm going to ruin this wood bit. This is on there super tight. I mean, it basically fits perfectly the way that they made this. So just go ahead, throw her in there, and let's drill away. There's one. Make sure your window is rolled up so you don't break your window. Just like that. Now I just need to take the bracket back off and install the riv nuts. Now that the holes will fit your riv nuts, go ahead and grab your riv nut tool. Be gentle with these. It's very easy to strip the threads on your tool. Make sure that the threads go all the way. Don't need to go all the way, just tight enough. One of the biggest mistakes with riv nutting tools is that people wail down on them without setting the, I don't know what you call it, preload. And they end up stripping the riv nut. And that's definitely not what you want to do because taking these out is an absolute pain. Go ahead and reinstall this guy. Now that that's installed, we can throw the handle on. So while installing it, I broke the tab off of here, so it doesn't lock anymore. When I pull the handle, it just bends. So I think what I'm gonna do, it's not pretty, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna drill a hole straight through here in the bracket, and I'll just bolt it down. So it's not the most elegant solution, but I could just put a bolt through here so that this won't pull away, and we're good. So the handle is completely finished. It's time to test fit the panel. Just use a little bit of blue tape to throw it up there, and then we'll be able to drill our first hole. So this is all I do. Throw her up there. Space it off of the gap of the handle. That's what I've been doing. You'll see that it basically fits. I mean, it basically fits perfect. It's pretty hard to mess this up, to be honest. So right there looks good in the front and back. I mean, this is a visual thing. It's going to fit plus or minus ½ centimeter, I would say, either direction, as long as you're not hitting your handle. So as long as you got it in a spot that you think looks pretty good, and I'm pushing down against the sill to try to get this as flat as I can, and I'm pushing away to try to get it up against the door as far as possible. Same thing down here. Pushing down and over. I'll close the door on you guys. Nothing's hitting. So what I do is I'm just gonna start on the top, and I'm gonna work my way over. I'm gonna do the first one, then I'm gonna do the second one. When I do the second one, I'm gonna have the first one bolted in and finished, and I'm gonna work my way all the way down, bolting in each one as I go. Because like I said, it is worth the extra time. It's worth the extra probably minute or 5 minutes total of pulling this off and putting it back on to make sure those riv nuts are exactly where you want them. I picked a drill bit size that is the same size as this hole, and then when you take the panel off, you just enlarge the hole just a tiny bit to get the riv nut in there. Once I have that preliminary hole drilled, then I take a larger drill bit to enlarge the hole. Once the hole is big enough, we can go ahead and install our riv nut. If one of your upper panel clips gets in the way, just take a flathead on the bottom, pop it up, and it undoes the 2 tabs, and then it actually pops out with your seal. There we are. So getting started is the tedious part, because we're going to screw this back in. So now that this top one's in, now I'm just going to go one hole at a time all the way down while pressing as hard as I can this way and down. Don't worry about the bottom here. You want the top to be flat, and then when you put the bottoms in, you can cinch it up. Take the panel back off. My GoPro died and I couldn't be asked to stop working while I was charging, so we got about 15%. All I did off camera was finish these. I mean, it's very straightforward. You just do exactly what I did for the first one and potentially the second one all the way through. Once you have this bolted up, then you can go through and with the same technique, drill the holes along the bottom. 11 total M5 riv nuts and bolts going around to hold the panel on. One of the last steps is to install our speakers and install our pull strap. So while the panel is on there, I stuck my screwdriver through the slit, marked here where the middle of it was, and now I'm gonna drill a hole through there to put the pull strap on. You want to be careful here because the window is right behind it. This is probably, it's closest at the top compared to the bottom. So I just start it with the small one because the bigger one will just grip more and potentially pull it in too fast. And then I finish it off with the big one once I have it started. Go slow. Do not punch through. There we go. Pick the direction that it naturally wants to curve. Suppose you could iron it if you want. And install. The back locking collar for the speaker is grooved on here. It's kind of grinding on this and I want to preserve this. So all I'm going to do is cut a ring out of this fabric and glue it on for this to sandwich between it, acting as kind of like an O-ring. Those are in there. They both have their little fabric washer. Looks good. Looks good so far. Finally got the GoPro back, but here we go. That's what it's like finished. You can see the other side. I've honestly never installed something that fit so perfectly. Like, this was millimeter perfect, I will be honest. Everything went perfectly. I had no issues with any of the riv nuts. The locations landed up perfect. The hardware is good. Everything fit the way it should. Absolutely no complaints. I ordered a new cover for this. Mine broke. It probably took me an hour per panel, and that's just kind of figuring everything out. But yeah, basically you got your pull straps, just pull her in, and cool. A lot more space between the seat and the panel now. Before, the sides of my seats used to hit the side panel, but yeah, no, this is great. With the trim on, everything cleans up really nicely, and the fit is so perfect. It is, like I said, millimeter perfect all the way around. I really can't come up with enough good things to say about this. So if this is a look that you're looking for, and you need a little bit extra space in your track car, definitely consider Turtle Laboratories, because this is, I was skeptical because it just seems like, oh, it's a piece of aluminum. But no, I mean, this is, it fits so well. Well, like always, thanks for watching. And if you have any questions, let me know.